Hey, it's Bev, your deep dive coach. This month, we are diving deeper into our red flags. I have been advising students this week on things that didn't go as expected. One of them paid a lot of money for a mastermind where they expected they would receive a certain level of service and coaching and didn't. One of them paid a lot of money to a marketing company where there was very clear set out timelines, what would be received, and it wasn't. So they both were asking me for advice on, what should I do? I'm so much more interested in talking to them about how do we get here. In my experience, coaching lots of people on things that, don't work out as expected, and myself actually, there's always a red flag. Sometimes it's an overt thing. Like they say, oh, I'll get the proposal to you by Wednesday, and it arrives, Thursday or Friday, or maybe even you have to check in with them. But sometimes it's an inner thing. As they're talking to you, they're saying the right things, they're giving all the right information. Something in you is going, ugh. For me, it's just like a little in my stomach. The interesting dive deeper work is, why did I ignore the red flag? I'm actually just about to do it now. I'm watching myself. I'm laughing so much at myself. I got this cold email from a woman who wants to do marketing and social media for me, and I loved the email. I usually don't respond, but this one really called to me. So we met and I loved her. And then she said, I'll have a proposal for you by Wednesday. Didn't get it. Thursday, Friday. So my rational brain is saying, listen, she's already showing you who she is. Don't do it. But my emotional brain is, but I loved her. She got me. I got her. So I message her. I'm chasing her before I've even given her money, right? I'm like, hey, you'd have a proposal by this day. Didn't get it. And then she said, I've been working on it and I've scrapped it and, all the things. Okay, so we have another meeting and we discuss something, a beautiful idea she has for me. And then she said to me, I'm going to be traveling. I'll be offline for the first half of the week, but I'll be back online for the second half of the week and I'll be in touch. And it's Thursday today, so it's the second half of the week. And I didn't hear from her. And, again, I'm like, I should contact her. Oh, she was so smart. She got me. But the red flag is 2 deadlines missed in the proposal section. So the work for me is, why do I ignore my red flags? This is not the first time. It's always because, no, it's not always because, it's always when I let my heart and my emotions lead in what should be a rational business decision. It doesn't have to be business. I've done it with contractors in my house and that kind of thing, but I've done it enough and I've done enough work to know it's when my heart wants to lead. Either I love them or I feel sorry for them or I want to support them. It's never coming from good, rational, data-driven decision making. So once I know this, it's really good for me to know, right? That was my deep dive. So your deep dive, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think to a decision that you made that didn't turn out the way you wanted to. Until now, the story might have been all about the other party, right? How they didn't provide what they said they would. And yes to all of that. Something we can do, right? So do what they say they'll do, and we're kind of stuck. But where all our power is, what red flag did I ignore? Because I believe the universe is always conspiring for us. I believe that comes from Abraham and Esther Hicks, and we're always being taken care of. So if we're about to make a decision that doesn't serve us, there will be a red flag. There will always be something overt or something, or an inner feeling. And so I want you to go back and do the rewinding of the story to retell it until you find that red flag. And then you want to explore. There was the red flag. What happened that I ignored it and eventually signed on with the person or, did the thing? that the red flag was saying, this is not a good idea. You will learn so much about yourself. I mean, I know this about me. I'm a relator, one of my top strengths on the Clifton Strengths Finder. I think 4 out of my 5 top ones are all heart. I have no strategy, all heart, and one is mouth, influencing. So, I'm very heart-centered. I like to make decisions based on heart. I like to have connections with people and relate to them. It doesn't serve me when it makes me ignore red flags, because I'd have to go clean up messes and be disappointed and extricate myself. None of that's good for business. Or your home, when it's a home renovation, your home. So that is your work. Then I want to tell you how to think about it, because we never want to then use it against ourselves, right? I ignored the red flag. I did it again. So here's how I love to think about it. That was a very cheap lesson for me. If I hadn't had that lesson and then discovered the red flags and the reason I ignored them, I would have spent millions more in investments that wouldn't have worked out. So we make ourselves still the hero of the story.